It is time, you guys, for overcoming hurdles. From a small-town dreamer to walking the red carpet at the Tribeca Film Festival, Dallas-based actor Brandon Stewart has lived a journey powered by passion and persistence and resilience. And despite his hurdles, he's learned to overcome those challenges day by day. And this morning, he is with us to share more about his journey to acting. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
So glad to have you, especially a local talent, okay, because North Texas is just pumping them out. So we're glad to have one here this morning. Yes, indeed. So you started your professional acting career at just 13 years old. We were talking a little bit before this, and you were discussing how pretty much all of those first few auditions were just a hit and a miss, but you kept on trying. Why were you so attached to acting so early on?
Yeah, they were all misses. I did not have much success as a young child actor. Just a love of storytelling, really. Like my mom can attest to it. I was just enamored with movies as a kid. Any great story, I was so absorbed by it. I was really obsessed with the process. I was that kid who watched like DVD commentaries.
I love.
Like listening to the actors and the directors tell stories.
You want to know the behind the scenes.
Yeah, my friends would come over and I'm like, we're watching the commentary, guys. We're not watching the movie.
I love it.
I just had a really, like an obsession with it. And I think you almost kind of have to in order to stick with this sort of industry.
Going.
Yes, you have to be obsessed with it and you have to be just in love with it, or else it's never going to work for you.
Well, you sure did show that resilience indeed. I mean, starting at 13 and just kept on trying until something hit. At 19, you ended up moving to LA all by yourself, all alone, which is very difficult to do. What did that teach you about being persistent? Because even in that space, what is that? Like a few years later, 5 or 6 years later, you're still trying. Yeah,
so LA, you know, I wouldn't trade the experience for the world, even though it ended up with me totaling my car on the 405.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
The traffic is bad out there, child.
Bad.
You think it's bad out here?
Yeah, and I didn't make it any better by running into somebody. But, you know, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about, you know, again, growing up in a very, very small town in Texas, it's easy to get caught up in your own hype. And kind of, I was in theater, so I kind of thought, you know, I was telling you before, you know, I'm going to make it. Like,
I'm the best thing on the grid.
I'm going to move to LA. They're going to see me, and that's it. It's done. It's a wrap. And you find out real quick that there's a lot of really talented, really beautiful, really well-spoken, just the amazing people out there that have the same dream that you do. And oftentimes they're a lot better than you. And so it was humbling for sure.
The reality check is real.
The reality check is real, and it was humbling, but it was also, again, it kind of taught me to believe in myself. And that, you know, if I look at everybody else and compare and do this and do that, I'm only ever going to put myself down. And I think, I don't know who said it, but there's that quote that, you know, other people are going to put you down, so don't do it to yourself.
Exactly.
So I love that feeling of being like, you know, yeah, there's better people than me, but only I can offer what I can offer.
Exactly. You are the only Brandon Stewart, okay?
That's right.
You're the only one bringing that to the table.
That's
now, you faced a unique challenge, speaking of being different from everybody else. You went through a few hurdles yourself, especially because we just talked about him being resilient and persistent. And here's another hurdle right here, a rare eye condition that you had to make sure that you could jump that hurdle to continue acting. Can you expand upon the condition and just how you were affected and how that ended up affecting your potential career?
Yeah, for sure. So it's called keratoconus. I think it affects 1 in like 2,000 people, so that equates to something like 0.5% of the population. It's very rare. I'm very lucky.
You're so lucky, so blessed.
But it basically it thins your cornea to a point where it bulges outward and takes a cone shape, hence the name keratoconus. And instead of being a dome, it's more of a cone, and it's just it results in, like in my case, extreme distorted blurry vision. So things like bright lights and things like this can really start to affect you, and you're seeing double and you're seeing after images and things like that. So there was a time where they were really worried I wouldn't be able to do film stuff, but thankfully I've been able to mitigate it. Technology's come a long way, so special contact lenses, glasses, things like that. But it was a scare, for sure.
Oh my goodness, but you even overcame that. I was just about to say, you mentioned bright lights, and I'm thinking everybody turn the lights down in here.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
But no, you've overcome that as well. Like you said, technology has come and evolved, and so you're doing better nowadays. I want to get to, because we have to get to this before we go, let's talk about Sovereign, right? Because it's the new film that you're in. It just premiered at Tribeca. What was it like being a part of a film with such heavy themes, but also working alongside icons like Dennis Quaid and Nick Offerman? What was that like?
Amazing, surreal at times. You know, I grew up watching Dennis Quaid movies, and he's amazing. He's still having such a great career. Watching the roles that he takes is so much fun. Nick Offerman, fantastic. Jacob Tremblay plays the son in this movie. He's fantastic as well. Heartbreaking at times. This is a lovely movie. I mean, it is heavy themes, but I had so much fun doing it, and I attest that to the crew and the cast that made every day so much fun, even with the subject matter that we were dealing with. and Tribeca. I had never been to New York, so to go to New York for the first time for your film
And to
film
be
premiere,
in your own
yeah.
film is crazy.
It was a big bucket list item checked off in 2 ways, so it was very cool.
That
Amazing.
is so exciting. My goodness. Okay, so tell me, if people want to keep up with you, witness your journey as you continue to be persistent and resilient, where can we find you?
Instagram is like the only social media I use. At @thebeastu_, I think is my name, and then obviously just keep up with me there.
Very, very good. Well, we look forward to watching the movie. It is going to be so, so good. And congratulations on everything, especially because you said sometimes you can boast yourself in Texas.
Yeah.
Well, I think now you can fully boast yourself now that you've been to New York.
Yeah,
so
a little bit.
Very, very good. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.